Hello there and welcome to Heart Explained Therapy. Now, how do you get motivated to do something you've never done before? It's quite easy to think of an idea, but it's quite different to get the mindset to go for it, to really try and get it. So, what are a few tips that can help you aim, attempt to go towards some sort of goal? Now, I think that the first thing that you've got to get right is the mental sort of preparation. Now, it's okay to have a great idea. Unfortunately, when people turn that great idea into a sort of goal setting operation, they see a lot of problems come up. And when you see all the problems, it can be quite daunting. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's planning, sometimes it's where are you going to fit the time in. But just like you would plan a normal day, just like you multitask in your head whenever you're doing anything, cooking a meal can sometimes take 5 or 6 sort of elements that you plan to do. It's quite simple that when you're heading towards a goal, you've got to sort of prepare yourself for the problems that's going to come up and problem solve them as they do. You see, everything that comes up that stops you from attaining your goal is actually just a quick, simple problem to solve mentally. Now, it's different in the action part of it. It might take a bit longer. But if you can mentally solve this problem, it's going to help you get towards your goal quicker. So how do you declutter the mind? Well, it's understanding some simple sort of ideas that are just brainwashed into your sort of default setting at the moment. And that is, there is no such thing as failure. If you attempt to do something and you class yourself as failed, the consequences didn't turn out the way that you expected, then this is just another reason to evaluate your expectations and everything that you perceive that you did wrong. You see, when you rode a bike, learnt to ride a bike, you didn't fail. You just couldn't do it because it's the first time you've ever tried. And like any action that you take, it takes practice before you get good at it. So when you have an idea for something personal like a goal, it is likely that because you've never done anything like it before, you're going to hit brand new snags and have no idea how you complete the task. So this is where you go to the worldwide internet to help you, or friends, family, or even there's a great site called People Per Hour that would basically give you a quote and help you in the specific department that you need help for. So the talent's out there for you. You don't need to learn everything. If you're going to create your own business, you don't need to learn everything to do with accounts, or if you're good at accounts, you don't need to learn how to make coffee. You can sort of solve them problems on the way. Unfortunately, a lot of people have this head clutter that doesn't make them start even the smallest task. Have you got some online training to do? Have you got an essay to complete for uni? Whatever it is, the motivation starts with you just acting. Once you've done the action, the motivation is there in the present moment. You see, at the moment, you're not acting. You're probably obsessed with distracting. You're not acting, you're distracting. You're distracting yourself and doing everything not to do the specific task. Now ask yourself why that would be. Is it fears? Are you scared of failure? Are you just being bone idle? Are you just being lazy? And if you are being lazy, get these chemicals up in your body. get these lazy blood chemicals that are going on out of your body and pick yourself up. You're the only one who can change your current life, your current situation, or your reality. And it just starts with action. Some great tips that I use, and this is probably different for most people, but I'm a planner. I like to write down a list of goals and try and attack them and try and set up. Recently I had 20 training modules to do. I was distracting myself, just not getting into it, not learning the work that I needed to do. I had a sort of half-assed attempt at it, and I failed because I just wasn't concentrating. I just didn't want to do it. And then I thought, right, I've got to go back to what I normally do. I got them down into separate chunks so it looked like I had less work to do per day. I set myself a target, an unrealistic target, but a target that just gave me something to aim at. I didn't complete my target, but I'm left now with 4 or 5 modules of this university training rather than the 20 when I didn't even start last week. And it's just about starting. And like I usually say on the videos, it doesn't matter what frame of mind you're actually in. That doesn't matter. People say they don't do stuff because of this frame of mind. Your frame of mind is just a thought away. It's a chemical reaction away from lifting. Now, if you look at the specific task, let's just say you had some online training to do and you're avoiding it. It doesn't matter if you're hyper happy or you're really low. Either mindset can complete the task. What you need to know is the hyper you probably doesn't want to do it because you want to do fun stuff and be creative. The really low you probably don't want to do it because you can't be arsed, you want to just pig out and do negative stuff. So where's this mindset of balance? Well, if the low you can learn to do it and the hyper you can learn to do it, you're slowing your mind down so you have a mindset that's just pretty stable for more length of time. Your mind never has to shift through emotions or anything that takes place. You can actually be calm and you can have the same sort of content feeling all day long if you start to master it. And by mastering it, I mean just do it. Do that thing that you have to do and let me know how it works out. You'll realise you can do it with whatever type of mindset you're in. I find that the worst case scenario for me is my worst mindset. I do something positive and then it just makes me feel great. And that's the motivation after the event.